The 2026 Toyota GR Supra arrives with the kind of energy that reminds enthusiasts why this nameplate has become a cultural icon, and this year's model pushes that legacy forward with a sharper identity, more refined engineering, and a serious commitment to driver-focused performance. In researching current automotive discussions, early press insights, and community reactions on enthusiast forums, a consistent pattern emerges. The 2026 Supra is no longer trying to prove it deserves the badge, it simply owns it. Toyota and Gazoo Racing have fine-tuned nearly every layer of the car, from its recalibrated chassis dynamics to subtle aerodynamic upgrades that aim to resolve complaints about previous model years, while giving drivers the sensation that the Supra is finally stepping into its strongest modern form. Reports suggest that the familiar 3.0-liter turbocharged inline-six still produces around 382 horsepower, but engineers have focused more on responsiveness than raw output, refining throttle mapping and sharpening the 8-speed automatic so each shift hits cleaner, faster, and with a sense of mechanical confidence that earlier versions occasionally lacked. Some automotive outlets also note that Toyota spent considerable time revisiting suspension tuning, aiming for a perfect balance between the agility of a sports coupe and the composure needed for real-world roads, something the community widely requested since the car's 2020 comeback. Inside, the 2026 Supra feels more premium and purpose-built, borrowing cues from both track-focused design thinking and Toyota's evolving luxury direction. Early hands-on impressions highlight a more intuitive infotainment system, a cleaner digital cluster, and slightly reworked seating bolstering intended to give the driver a firmer, more anchored position during aggressive cornering. Toyota appears to have heard the frustration surrounding previous cabin ergonomics and visibility, and although the overall interior layout still channels a cockpit-like snugness, reviewers say the 2026 updates deliver a clearer driving view and a less cluttered workflow behind the wheel. The refreshed interior materials are reported to feel more upscale, addressing one of the most frequent community criticisms that earlier Supras didn't quite match the premium feel expected at their price point. Even small touches like improved wireless connectivity, upgraded sound insulation, and optional performance tech readouts create a sense that Toyota is determined to refine the Supra into a more complete sports car experience rather than relying on nostalgia alone. Driving impressions shared by journalists and track testers describe the 2026 GR Supra as noticeably tighter, more communicative, and more confident at the limit. According to early reviews, steering feel, often a contentious topic among enthusiasts, has been recalibrated for better on-center feedback and a more natural progression as you load up the front tires. Some experts argue that while it's still not the analog purity of 1990s icons, it's undeniably one of the more engaging modern electric assist systems in its class. Others note that the Supra now rewards smooth driving with a more predictable weight transfer, giving drivers the confidence to push harder without feeling unsettled. Toyota's tweaks to traction control logic and stability management reportedly make the car easier to explore at higher speeds while still maintaining a safety margin for everyday drivers. This positions the 2026 Supra in an interesting place. It feels more serious, more grown-up, and more track-capable, yet also more forgiving and user-friendly than some rival sports cars that demand expert-level precision. On the outside, the design adjustments may look subtle at first glance, but they collectively sharpen the Supra's personality. Observers point out that Toyota has revised air channeling components and enhanced brake cooling, improving both functionality and stance. The front fascia carries a more aggressive look, with blacked-out trim options and new wheel designs that give the car a lower, more planted visual effect. Color updates and optional appearance packages also suggest Toyota is leaning into a bolder aesthetic direction, especially as younger buyers gravitate toward highly personalized performance cars. Many viewers and reviewers have already noted that this is the first model year where the Supra's styling feels like a fully matured modern sports car rather than a retro revival. In terms of practicality, the 2026 GR Supra still fits the sports coupe lifestyle, compact, focused, and unapologetically designed for driving pleasure. But Toyota's refinement of ride quality and cabin noise levels means it's becoming more comfortable for longer journeys, and its improved infotainment tech answers the complaints of drivers who wanted a smoother connection between daily life and weekend fun. Some sources suggest Toyota may offer additional safety or driver assist features compared to previous years, though details vary across early reports. If accurate, it would support the trend of automakers blending high-performance identity with modern convenience and safety expectations to appeal to a wider audience. As always, the Supra community continues to debate the BMW partnership that underpins parts of the car. But what's interesting this year is how many reviewers now say the collaboration has matured into a truly Toyota character vehicle. While some purists still argue for a fully in-house platform, others note that Toyota's latest refinements show a clear evolution of Gazoo Racing's own engineering personality, making the 2026 model feel far more authentically GR Supra than earlier iterations. This split in perspective reflects what many experts argue. Collaborations in today's automotive world are inevitable, but what matters is how effectively a brand shapes the final product. And 2026 appears to be the year Toyota finally shapes it with full confidence. Overall, the 2026 Toyota GR Supra represents a thoughtful blend of heritage and modern performance, delivering a driving experience shaped by community feedback, engineering refinement, and a stronger, more defined identity. It's quicker in its responses, richer in its feel, and more polished inside and out. And whether you're a longtime Supra loyalist or someone stepping into the legend for the first time, this year's model proves that the icon hasn't just returned, it's leveled up in a way that feels deeply intentional,